Hey there, dear Spellweaver community, and welcome. Well, it's not Spellweaver ranked, it's also not a tournament, so today I think it's kind of like a deck tech with a couple of friendly games, because I have worked on another deck. And as you know, if you have played Vampires, by the way, yourself, definitely let me know in the comments, by the way. You know that that the decks I built are something that you don't see in the majority. Like, it's not like Vampires, for example. It's not a rush deck, it's not a control deck, it's just a fun deck overall. Vampires are strong, and you know, I've seen, okay, I wanted to make like basically a deck that is revolving around one gimmick, and Vampires was the most likely to, because there are a lot of cards that are actually Vampires and that actually work, and you know, with vampirism, and I want to make everything with vampirism. But as you know from this deck, it's all about fun basically, and today I bring to you a deck that I call, as you can see in the video title, Cult of Yunx. And ever since Banshee Bounce, ever since Dream Reactor basically was like, you know, we don't want fun in our games, so we basically make Shrieking Banshee obsolete, and we just patch out the fun, and Banshee Bounce basically was gone, so you can't really play that anymore as it was before, where you just summon like 80 Enchained Souls in one turn. That doesn't work anymore, and ever since, little me was a little bit saddened about it, but I may have found something that is just as exciting to play as Banshee Bounce. So, today, not Chalice of Yunx, but Cult of Yunx. As you can probably imagine, I'm gonna show you this right now. This deck needs basically 3 cards to work. We need Enchained Souls, we need the Chalice of Yunx, and we need the Necromantic Cult and a shit ton of mana for that, to support it. I've played this deck, by the way, 3 times in friendlies so far. Won every single time by reaching 40 or more life, and that's exactly what you do with this deck. So, this deck, of course, runs with Despina, Insatiable Soul. Inner Power, you can pay up to 5 mana, and the next turn, you have +1 mana for each 1 mana you paid, which means you can spend 5 mana, and in the next turn, if your maximum mana is like 6, and you use all 5 of that, the next turn, you're gonna have 11 mana to spend, which is pretty awesome, and which is definitely necessary. We have 2 times Facecam Mercenary, which we use to sacrifice. It's basically also a little bit like Sacrificial Forces with Enoch, by the way, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So Facecam Mercenary, before I had 4 cards of this in the deck, but just before I started this video, I realized that I don't really play this card, to be honest. So I cranked it down to like 2 of those. Pretty, not really costly. It's 2 aspects, 1 mana, and a 2/2 speed. And when you sacrifice Forsaken Mercenary, draw a card. That's mostly what we want to use it for. Enchained Souls, obviously, it's a flying and a slave, 1/1 speed. And sacrifice Enchained Soul, you gain 1 life. Keep that in mind. We have 4 of these in our deck. Then we have 4 times Plague Vermin. Sacrifice Plague Vermin, and another creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. It's a 1/1 speed, 1 aspect, 1 mana, so great early game removal, and you sacrifice it. Also keep that in mind. Blood Witch Harpy, 2 of these. It's flying, and at the start of each hero's turn, that hero sacrifices a level 1 creature. If he or she does, that hero gains 1 mana. It's a 3/2 speed. Only 2 of those in the deck. That's basically just to stabilize, to do damage control if the enemy for some reason like play, for example, Rage Rush or Nature Rush is a great example. They only run 1 level creatures. So far, by the way, we have 1/2 aspects. Then we have 4 1 levels, 4 1 levels. Necromantic Cult is 3, so we also have to sacrifice these, but usually we do that before we get to the turn with Blood Witch Harpy. But yeah, this is just for damage control basically. Then we have 4 times Necromantic Cult, the first star of this deck. So, whenever another creature dies, you may pay 1 mana to put a Might Emblem on Necromantic Cult. Now, you can remove a Might Emblem from Necromantic Cult, and an enemy creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. The cool thing is, let's say the enemy plays Rage Rush, and he has like a Goblin Warrior. Or, let's say Gibo and Ronnie, right? And we have 1 Might Emblem on Necromantic Cult. We use his ability to give an enemy creature, like for example Gibo, -1/-1. That creature dies. If I have 1 mana, I can get another Might Emblem on Necromantic Cult. I use that on Roni. He is dead, and if I have another mana, I can have that Might Emblem back again, and, you know, I can just troll around the board with that, which is pretty awesome. For spells, we have 4 times Power Surge because we need the mana for this deck, definitely. And that's why we have Power Surge. Also, if we have 7 or more mana crystals, we draw a card, which is cool. 2 times Devious Plot. In late game, we might draw an Enchained Soul, and if we don't want to use her ability, we can just, and the enemy, for example, has a dragon out, we just use Devious Plot on the dragon and on our Enchained Soul, and the dragon is gone. Then we have 2 times Cataclysm, 2 times because Cataclysm is fucking OP and I don't want to use more than 2 of those. And the deck works fairly well with only 2 of these, by the way. Noxious Fumes. Obnoxious Fumes, as I like to call them. -2/-2, 4 times, great removal. And Haunt. Haunt is another little star of the deck, depends on what the enemy plays, obviously. Attached to an enemy card, and when this card engages in combat, triggers or uses an activated power for the first time each turn, you may summon 2 Enchained Souls onto the field. The cool thing is, I had the next card out in one game, Cloning Vet, and an enemy... just awesome. An enemy put Haunt on Cloning Vet. What I did, I put a Haunt from me onto his Haunt, and then another Haunt from me on that Haunt again. So basically every time Cloning Vet triggered, I was spawning 4 Enchained Souls while the enemy was only spawning 2, which was pretty awesome. And of course, Cloning Vet summoned the level 1 slave of your choice onto the field. Use this power only during your turn. We have the choice between... Let me actually check. I think if you type in slave, we get all of them. So it's either a Moonsteel Miner, who's kind of good, but not for this deck. We can pay 1 mana to sacrifice him, and we can put a Might Emblem on another creature we control. We can use that technically for, to get a Might Emblem on a Necromantic Cult, for instance. Could be a thing. Never even thought about this, to be honest. Then we can summon a Tortured Orc, who is a 3/2 slave. Also not really what we want. What we want, however, though, is an Enchained Soul. And that's where the fun starts. So we have 4 Cloning Vets out. We need 2 mana. That's why I'm, you know, for each Cloning Vet to trigger, he only triggers once during our turn. And we have to pay 2 mana for it. And if we do, we can summon an Enchained Soul onto the field. Okay. And remember, if we sack it, we get 1 health from the Enchained Soul. And now, for the last card of the deck, for the last star of the deck, we have Chalice of Yunx. A card that I absolutely love. Whenever a creature you control dies, +1 energy. Yeah? And we can pay 2 mana and remove all energy from Chalice of Yunx and gain that much life. And you see, it's only 2 aspects and 1 mana. It's not a problem to play this. The only problem is to actually trigger it each and every turn. And that's why I mean we need mana. If we have 4 Cloning Vets out, we need 8 mana to trigger each Cloning Vet once. And we need 8 mana. If we have 4 Chalices out, we need 8 mana to activate each and every Chalice of Yunx as well. So the thing what we want to do is, we want to use the Cloning Vets to get Enchained Souls. If we sacrifice an Enchained Soul, we gain 1 life. And if we have a Chalice of Yunx out, that Chalice gains 1 energy. And if we use the energy, we get 1 life. Now imagine we have 1 Cloning Vet out and we have 3 Chalice of Yunx. We summon 1 Enchained Soul for 2 mana. We sacrifice that, we gain 1 life, and each Chalice of Yunx separately gets 1 energy. So that's 4 life in 1 turn. And that's what we were aiming for, by the way. It's just ridiculous, it's awesome, and I freaking love it. The thing is, though, if you sacrifice an Enchained Soul, you don't... I think... Yeah, basically the Necromantic Cult says whenever another creature dies, you can pay 1 to put a Might Emblem on him, but I'm pretty sure that the Enchained Souls sadly don't really count. It's only like mostly when you sacrifice like something that isn't summoned, basically. Like Enchained Souls from Cloning Vets are summoned, but if you play it from your hand, that's why we have 4 of these in the hand, then you can put a Might Emblem on Necromantic Cult. Of course, also, you know, we have 8 Dominion Shrines, we have 2 Stronghold Metropolis, sacrifice level 1 creature to draw a card. Like, if we have a problem and we have like 3 Cloning Vats out, we summon Enchained Souls, and we are like, okay, I don't really need the HP now, I'm just gonna use Stronghold Metropolis to to draw another card. We can do that. We have 2 times Sanctum of the Void, the enemy hero sacrifices a creature, speaks for itself, and 8 Corruption Shrines. Now, we have Cataclysm, which requires 2 Dominion aspects, but usually what we want to do is to get 2, was it 2? Yeah, 2 Corruption and 1 Dominion. 1 Dominion, obviously, we only need 1 for Chalice of Yunx and for the Cloning Vat, but we definitely need 2 Corruption aspects, 2 Corruption Shrines, to get Necromantic Cult going. And by the way, it's only 2 mana, so it's not that costly overall, to be honest, to play the Necromantic Cult. And he has 3, you know, also the thing is he has 3 HP, so you can't really remove it with Noxious Fumes. The enemy has to throw like 2 Obnoxious Fumes into the Necromantic Cult to actually remove him. So that's also a cool thing. So yeah, that is the deck tech, and you know, I'm not sure if it actually would work in ranked. I mean, you know, I've played it 3 times in friendlies and it worked, but I think we're just gonna hop into some friendly games and see if the deck still holds up for it. So let's check it out. Alright, we are up against Sideral. It's not good, but it's also not bad. We have a bunch of good drops at the beginning. We have Ramp, but we lack like Chalice. Ideally you want like a Chalice, maybe 2 in your hand at the beginning. I mean, we have a bunch of control, but we also don't have any shrines, so I think I'm gonna draw again. Okay. Devious Blood is like usually like a save, just discarded. The good thing is we can play Chalice, and if we sacrifice Plague Vermins, then we instantly gain the energy for it, which is pretty nice. So we want to put Chalice out before the Plague Vermin. And we definitely need a Dominion Shrine, that's for sure. And we play against Order Alexa. Might be a starter deck, we never know. But he apparently got the O working. And there, that's like really nice now. Now, perfect. Now I was about to say, now we just need to hit that. Dominion Shrine. Now we can put up Chalice, use Bark, and get the Plague Vermin out. If he decides to play something now. We can also save the Spark to play a Cloning Vat in 2 turns. All depends. If he plays a 1/1, I'm definitely gonna go Plague Vermin because it removes it and we get the energy for the Chalice. So that sounds pretty good to me. Might be a starter deck though. Kinda have that feeling. That's usually how it goes in friendly games. So he doesn't play anything, which means think I'm gonna hold on to the Spark then. Mr. DO, nice. We can technically play two as well now. So either we clone some Vats or we plague some Vermins. The thing is also I don't really want to get rid of anything in my hand, like I don't want to DO anything. Like if we miss a shrine again, that would be detrimental. Yeah, so I think that's 2 Plague Vermins. Okay, I mean, it's not the worst if we miss DO because we have Spark. But we'll see. Well, now we can't kill it. Oh no, we can, never mind. Noxious and Plague Vermin, obviously. No problem. Ah, there we go. Alright. So that, the next, okay. The next cloning Vat. So we do some damage control here. Play the Plague Vermin. Get rid of that. And turn. Was debating whether or not I should discard Cloning Vat, because now we can't really ramp up with it just yet. And it's good like to have another card draw from another shrine. If worst comes to worst and we draw like Necromantic Cult, I can still use this to gain an aspect, because we have 2 of those in our deck, so. But that's not a threat at all. Yeah, it's a starter deck, because no one plays heavy infantry, to be honest. Because the card is just terrible. So what we have to deal with, by the way, is though like a large board presence from the enemy. That's usually how it goes, because we don't really play... Of course we play removal, but most of the time we just ramp up with chalices, so... It's only natural that the enemy is gonna ramp up on board presence, but we don't have to be scared about that. Alright. Yes. Insane Mercenary, alright. So I'll play this into this. Get rid of this. Why not? You know, spark for him. We can have him get killed by the heavy infantry and then gain even more energy for the chalice. What you don't want to do, by the way, is like hold on to this for too long, because the enemy could have like a removal, of course, thinking about Ray of Righteousness. And since it's a starter deck, he may have 4 of those in the deck. And that can always get rid of this and this, because both are artifacts. So we have to be a little bit careful about that. And the Griffin. Okay. Sadly, it's not, by the way, considered as sacrificing when I just let him die, basically. So we don't really get the card draw out of him, but it should be okay. So we have 4 mana next turn, so we can use this combo. We can also get another Cloning Vat out, but I think I'm gonna use this and then heal. Well, look at this. Come on. Nice, thank you. Cataclysm. So... he's probably gonna block with the Griffin, because I thought about like attacking into him and then Noxious. Problem is he has range. So I'm gonna do what I do best. Play this. Sure. Gonna use this, because for some reason I just see him having the Ray of Righteousness and I want to use the energy as long as I can. And by the way, I think I've never played Cataclysm actually in this. It's just, you know, late game when they really like overwhelm you with lots of board presence and you just need to get rid of the enemy board. That's when you usually use Cataclysm. And only then. Like, this state of the board is like no problem at all. And as long as we don't draw the Necromantic Cult, there is no real need to go for 2 corruption aspects. That's also a point. So we have 5 mana next turn. I can put down Cloning Vat, use Cloning Vat. Then we are down to 1 mana, so we need some chalices, that's for sure. That's when the real fun begins. Yeah, well. As if I have more than 1 freaking creature on the board, you know? Because, you know, also this deck, of course, is not about attacking. This deck is about stalling. This deck is about gaining 40 life, basically. So yeah, we don't even want to have more than 3 creatures out, and it's pretty unlikely that we will. The thing we kill, we just do that with the... We just do that with the Necromancer Cult. Just need to get this guy going. Yeah. One more energy. There you go. Because if I were to attack him next turn, he would just block with this, so... Might as well just run it into him. So I think I'm still gonna hold on to Cataclysm, because 4 creatures is a little bit nifty. We definitely need to be aware of that there could potentially be a problem for us. That's something awesome, actually. Get the cloning vat going. Okay. So he attacks now for 8. Yeah, but I think we're gonna Cataclysm because he has 5 cards in hand, so he's likely to play a little bit more than that. And Lifebound is something that I don't want to see. So yeah, that's gonna get Cataclysmed. Only sucks that I have to go up on the minion, because then I can't really play the Necromantic Cult, but... ah well. And I'll probably Noxious this girl. That could hurt. It's 13 damage. If he attacks with everything. Which he should. And which he will. But thanks for taking your sweet ass time for that. Wait, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so I can activate everything here next turn. If I go up 1 mana. I need 1 more. Ah. Don't really need that at the moment. So, okay, perfect. Necromantic Cult, alright. So use this. And this. Gain a little bit of life. There we go. Back to 19. He attacks for 12, but I just Cataclysm, and we're good. Sadly, it's only, you know, whenever a creature you control dies, and not, like, they don't count the enemy creatures, which is a little bit sad. Ooh, that's a nice board you have there. It's a shame that it's gonna go down next turn. He has 2 mana left. You know, there's this button to the right that you can press, where you just attack with everything. And with that, everything comes down. It would actually be funny if we could play Necromantic Cult before, but sadly we don't have the mana to support it. So, Cataclysm! Bam! Wipe that. Let's see. Yeah, only 1 more corruption aspect and we have all the aspects that we need. At least we have that going for us. 2, 4, 6. 8 mana and I could play the Necromancer. He doesn't have a play. Alright. So yeah, I think I'm gonna play him. Play this once, and then we can get a Might Emblem on him. There you go. Actually, we can keep him on the front line, I think. Okay, yeah, now we are set. Now the game begins. Now the fun begins. Even though we only have 1 chalice out, Could be a lot more at this point. But sort of beggars can't be choosers. And he doesn't have a play again. Gain a little bit more mana, another card draw. Alright. Play only one, because we get another Might Emblem on him. Want to utilize... well. Why not? Play another one. We can get a Might Emblem now, because we don't have 1 mana left. But we still get the energy for the Chalice. And we actually can go in for beats. Even though... Yeah, I was about to say, he might have this shit. Fuck. Yeah, shouldn't have done that. That's why you don't attack with this deck. Let's see. Oh, he also at this point has every mana to do anything that he wants. He also has 3 aspects. Probably doesn't have Entriel. Since, as I said, it's probably a starter deck or something. Again, another play for him. Quite interesting. So, this, and that. Use the energy before he gets rid of it. And might as well get a Plague Vermin out while we're at it. So back to 19 HP from a potential detrimental situation. And yeah, you know, we've seen the Cataclysm. We've seen the Pacify, so definitely don't attack. Bad idea. Don't want to do that. And we can get rid of a 3/3 now. Just use Plague Vermin and Noxious Fumes. And I think he doesn't have creatures that really have more than that. More HP than that. That is awkward. Okay. Another Enchained Soul, why not? Okay. Get this. And this. And then might as well use Inner Power. Yeah, don't attack. With 6 cards in hands and no plays, just don't attack. Bad things could occur. If he would run Angels, I would be a little bit worried at this point. He might just, you know, dump all Angels out in one turn. But doesn't seem the case. Also, I have 4 Chalices in the deck. I mean, I've drawn like 2 Cloning Vats. I wonder where the other one went. Like the other Chalices. You can't attack now. Probably forgot. But he can rally the Peasants. I mean, that doesn't really save you from Noxious Fumes. Ah, well, it does. Yeah, 3/3. Sure. I could make a fun play, I think. Now, I was about to say Moonsteel Miner and put Might Emblems on him and kill this, but he just blocks. Let's see what we get. Why not? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I can only buff him to a 3/3, the Plague Vermin. Yeah. Oh, wait. A 3/3. He's down to a... Yeah, that actually works. So, put a Might Emblem on him. Noxious Fumes this. He's down to a 3/3. Nah, I should have Noxious Fumed him. Yeah, or like summon 2 Moonsteel Miners. Ah, damn it. The misplace here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him back. Plague Vermin's time will come. Problem is he has rallied the peasants, so we can use that again to buff him up again. Yeah, the Moonsteel Miner was a little bit of a waste. Could have been at 31 HP instead of 30. Yeah, okay, only spells, so we're good. He does have some soldiers in here, does he? Yeah, he has 2 soldiers in the thing. Dude. Angelic Song, as if I attack your creatures. I mean, come on. What do you think this deck is? Actually fighting? Ridiculous. Scary. Not really. Not really. So Might Emblem and this thing. Yeah, he gets big, but no issue. Also, we have another Cataclysm in the deck, so we're gonna see when we draw that. There's the there we go. That's something that I want to see. So let's get this going now. I'm gonna keep that. I was gonna say I want to attack him, but I can't because Angelic Song, so I think I'm just gonna sack this. Alright. Yeah, Moonsteel Miner waste. Happens. Also, if I... Nah, wait. So, yeah, I could have killed this, but Angelic Song, kind of a good play, actually. Probably judged it too fast there. But he only killed spells and I don't have any spell out, so... And I don't really have any spells that are out for a longer period of time, so... No issue. Lifebound sucks a little bit though. Just because it's lifebound. 11 mana left, however. Okay, one more card draw. Necromantic Call. Alright. Alright. Okay. Now let's see how we handle this conundrum right here. That this guy got himself into. So we can remove the Lifebound Priest, which I think I am gonna do. Yeah, I definitely will. And I get another Might Emblem for him because it kills a creature. There we go. Use this. Yeah. I want to keep him in the back line because I don't want him to get killed by the Horseback Rider right here. I get 3 Might Emblems on him when I summon 2 more Enchained Souls next turn, so I can kill this. Also, if he puts a Might Emblem with Soldier's Memorial on him. Even though I think he's probably further gonna pump this guy. Probably. Doesn't use it though. Probably gonna remove him though. Sounds like the better option to me. He puts out some threats. I give him that. And this guy gets beefy. That's for sure. But not for long. Not for long at all. Also, the only problem that we have, by the way, is that we have 0 cards in hand. And I don't really have any creatures to sacrifice with the hero ability that I didn't get yet. Good. Good. Me likey. Me likey very much. Yes. Yes. This is all. I just love this so much. You can't even imagine. So overall, I have 3, 4, 5 damage to deal. 2, 3. Yes. Oh god, you know, I play against Cult so often and it just pisses me off every single time, but yeah, I can see the appeal now. I like this. This is fun. That is my interpretation of fun right there. And the fun thing is that you don't have, if you want to use the Might Emblems that you have on the Necromantic Cults, you don't have to pay mana for that. That's what makes it so awesome. It's awesome in itself, of course, but that's what makes it even more awesome, I should say. The tale of the horseback rider, though. And we have 7 HP. Gonna be a little bit more next turn that we can use. Let's see, I think I have 1. So I need 2 to get rid of this. Oh god, I love this so much. This is just awesome. Okay, so I have 2, 3, there we go. The next I want to use for the chalices. I can activate 2, so I'm gonna give you 1 more. So I get 7 HP, get 4 HP. And wreck this guy. Here we go. Alright. And we just hold on to that 25 life and he's almost out of time, to actually. Of course it takes a shit ton of time, but you know, I like it. I enjoy it. It's always like a back and forth, like a tug of war. I think I want to get rid of this. Or do I want to get rid of the front line? Maybe the front line. Someone needs to teach that horseback rider some manners there. So now we have all 4 chalices out, which is fun. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Wait. 1, 2, 3 would be 5. So I get 1 more. Use this. And this. And then we kill off that. And that. Good. You know, that's why I said, you know, you need a shit ton of mana to actually get this thing going, as you can see. Why? That's odd. Maybe he thought it's gonna work on the backline for those two? So we need... Yeah, I need to use this twice and this twice to get this thing gone, because 4 damage is a little bit obnoxious. So yeah, I make the... I trigger them every time now. For this turn. Devious Plot, don't need that. Thankfully we have a Shrine. Card draw. Add more mana. Okay. Alright, yes. And yes. Yes. And yes. Alright. Wait, how much do I have? 4, right? Yeah. 2, 3, 4. Yes. Give me one more. We have the mana, so why not? 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock for him. That's also a thing that could happen with this deck that we play right here, because you have to heal up and you have to do so much during your turn that you can actually run out of time. So you have to be really quick. Can't think for too long. Which you technically don't in the late game. You just know exactly what you need to do, actually. Especially if you only have like a couple of cards in your hand. "45 seconds. That might be a win due to time." Down to 10. Whatever will we do? We're probably just gonna do the thing that we did all the time. That's a 1, that's a 1. And that's a 1. Yeah, sure. Why not? Good play, I think. Okay. Yes. Yes. We have 1, 2, 3. Need one more. Since we can only activate 2 chalices, I might as well do that. Get the life back. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that. Okay. Now you're probably gonna sack this. And the only one left standing is the Horseback Rider. This deck. I made some adjustments, by the way. As I said, I only have 2 Facecam mercenaries in the deck, and before I had 4, and I only had 2 cloning vats. Now I changed it to 2 Facecam mercenaries and 4 cloning vats, because we get more value out of this with the Enchained Souls, and he runs out of time. And there it goes. Victory! And that, my friend, is Cult of Yunx. He wants another game.